Hang on, Mr. Douglas. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here with you, discussing this very important information that is presented in Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power, Volume 1. Today, it's Chapter 3 time. Welcome back. We've got 2 little clips for you from Chapter 3 today. Let's roll right into them, shall we? Yes, I think we shall. First of the clips, Ingo presents the basic, foundational fact that the dichotomy between the powerful and powerless has been set up and perpetuated for quite some time. Let's take a listen. A significant question that is never posed is that if the powerless did not exist, then who or what would the powerless have power over? Thus, there is a real and necessarily large, lopsided dynamic status quo relationship between the powerless and the powerful. There is every historical indication that the powerful are cognizant of this necessary status quo relationship, and that overt and covert ways and means are designed to perpetuate it at the general societal levels. In bygone centuries, the status quo was trenchantly assured by establishing class systems. There were the minority powerful and the majority powerless, between which there was no upward mobility. This was assured by denying literacy to the lowest class orders. So as you just heard, Ingo Swann gives it the very simple breakdown of a societal structure set up so that they're majority powerless, minority powerful, and that the minority powerful recognize this, they see this, they realize they have to reinforce this situation to keep themselves at the top. And so they do that. One of the most obvious ways this was perpetuated was through the suppression of literacy, and that was going on for quite some time. Thank you, Gutenberg. But good to know, right? You have a society set up to suppress the majority. Has that changed? I think it's warped and twisted, but still in great effect today, and in so many more ways on so many more levels because of technology and the modern presentation of popular culture. As Terence McKenna has said, culture is not your friend. It's designed to make you fit in to this societal structure that supports the minority powerful and suppresses the majority powerless. Also, I think a very nice gem that Ingo just dropped in front of us is this idea that if power is defined as control, authority, and influence over others, and you have this minority powerful lording over the majority powerless, if there were no powerless, who would the powerful have to hold power over? Let that roll around in your mind just a little bit. If there was less of you in terms of your attention, your participation within this scheme of society, there would be less of you that those that run this scheme could have power over. I think that is something to chew on that could produce great amounts of nutrients for us. If there were no powerless or perceived powerless for the powerful to be powerful over, what would they do? Who would the powerful exert their power on? And okay, we're going to move on here to clip numero dos. Yet another way to introduce the idea that perhaps our perceived shortcomings within society are not altogether all our own fault. It is certainly our responsibility, but the setup may not have been set up by ourselves alone. Okay, we're going to listen in. Here we go. As it is, though, the topic of power is full of beastly glitches, and via the above it is possible to encounter one of them right away. In general, the powerless seldom relish the idea of thinking of themselves as such, largely because the concept of being powerless is somewhat demoralizing and cannot easily be thought of as constituting anything like a cognitive comfort zone. And it is indeed possible to evade the implicit issues here because power and powerlessness are always relative to each other. Almost everyone has some kind of power, if only in their local universe and their own reality sets. But evading the implicit issues has another problematical quality that comes to light if and when one wishes to become more generally powerful than one actually is. In modern times, if individuals complain or grumble about not having enough power, they will quickly be told by one and all that the reasons reside in their own psychological realms, i.e., no self-confidence, not enough drive, problems with relationships, etc., and that these need to be corrected at the individual level. These inadequacies perhaps have something to do with whatever is involved, but there is a larger reason why the powerless don't have much power. And the reason has something to do with the necessary relationship between the powerful and the powerless. If the powerful need large reserves of the powerless in order to have power over them, it would be quite necessary to condition powerlessness into the masses via social and educational artifices. And so, the fault of powerlessness might not exclusively be one's own, but one of programming from external sources. Now, how about that bit of information, right? Who likes to think of themselves as powerless? I know I don't. It is demoralizing, as Ingo had stated, but we got to start from where we are. And that may be a mindset of perceived powerlessness. Ingo then goes on to say, well, you have society structured in such a way to say that, yo, it's all your fault. It's your fault that you have relationship problems. It's your fault that you have confidence problems. Whoa, back up, society, just a little bit. Again, at the very end, Ingo says, it may not be all your fault. In fact, it may be something programmed into the baser layers of society that we exist in. And again, it may not be all our fault, but it is our responsibility to shift our mindset, our frame of mind, and to grasp upon the ladder of growth within us and climb. And we can do that. And we can do that better and better, more efficiently, more smartly, the more we have a wider and deeper understanding of the situation as it is, which is so beautifully, wonderfully, and entertainingly presented in Ingo Swann's Secrets of Power, Volume 1 and 2. Right? Okay, so it's Ingo laying it down. Take heart, take heed. The scales are absolutely tilted, and not in the individual's favor. And culture insidiously uses the human desire of wanting to belong and be a part of something, to not be the outcast of the tribe, to have you conform and self-suppress and self-blame. Look, I don't know anybody that didn't at one point or another have relationship issues, have confidence issues. I can recall the first time I, as they say, nutted up and put confidence on the table for myself. When I was a kid, I was real big into wanting to be an actor, and that fueled me through my young and first chunk of adult life, and I believe will perpetually inform everything I do for the rest of mine. But I went to a summer camp in Oswego, New York. It was a great time. I had a great time. But up until then, I was great on stage, but sucky off stage. Just super introverted. Had a hard time introducing myself to people. You know, eye contact was not a thing. And late bloomer, drama kid. I mean, you know the type. And I got there early. I was, I think, the first person, or the second person to enter into it was being held at Oswego University in upstate New York. in their drama section of their campus. It was a great time, and I learned a lot about myself and acting and how to awaken confidence within yourself. And this actually refers to an interesting bit of information that Ingo drops much later on in Volume 1 about motives and intellectualizing and action. I had a deep motivation to make the most out of this experience. And I didn't really think about it that much. But okay, so here we are. I am number 2 in the Great Hall. People are starting to trickle in. And it is attractive girl after attractive girl after attractive girl. And here I am just, oh God, no, what do I do? Put me on a stage. And there was this voice that came through loud and clear in me that ever since I have taken heed to. And this is, I think, in us all. We all have that conscience, that higher self, that spirit voice in us all. And this voice said to me, hey, you have a choice. You can look them in the eye and smile and walk over and introduce yourself. Or you don't have to. But you know what happens when you don't. You know what happens when you sneak glances at them from afar and never really talk to anybody that you want to get to know. Why not try the exact opposite and see what happens? You're only here for 2 weeks. What do you got to lose? Look them in the eye, smile, go over there, and introduce yourself. And I took one beat. I didn't think about it that long because I could tell if I did, resistance would build. And I just started walking over to this hot girl and I smiled and looked at her in the eye and said, hi, my name is Doug. Are you here for the drama camp too? And that was the beginning of me taking the confidence on stage and bringing it into my life. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have plenty of awkward moments. It's a lifelong journey. But I now know for a fact that I like the results better when I make eye contact, smile, and walk over to somebody I am attracted to or want to get to know and introduce myself to. You have that voice in you too. Call it whatever you want. Your guardian angel, your spirit animal, your higher self, your true self. But it's there and it's for you, it supports you and wants you as powerful as you can be. And there is no level cap on humanity. Don't listen to society so hard. Listen, because it's certainly dropping information for us to consider, but that support comes from within. And when you listen to yourself, the truest of words will be heard. And listening to this information, what Ingo presents here, helps us sift through the crap that is dumped on us by culture. And I thank you for taking the time to listen to me and helping you listen to yourself and get even more powerful with each breath that we take. The journey is wonderful and we can achieve a lot with each step on it. When the time comes, and it is fast approaching, step with me as I narrate to you the book in its entirety once the audio version is released. Let us empower each other and the world around us as a result. Definitely check out ingoswann.com, INGOSWANN.com, to learn more about the masterful man and his works. Thank you for tuning in. It's a pleasure, as I will always say, to have you here. Keep on keeping on, and keep on listening into yourself. That motivation, that power is already there within you, waiting to shine through in your own beautiful particular way. Thanks for hanging. I'll catch you on the next one.